Welcome to Signature TV News. I am Charles Pius. The headlines. Enugu Assembly urges Army, Police to dismantle Enugu-Onitsha Expressway roadblocks. University dons call for review in the process of appointment of Nigerian vice-chancellors. On the foreign scene, Trump's former fixer Cohen resumes testifying at hush money trial. In sports, Martinez to return as Manchester United push for European spot against Newcastle. Now the news in detail. The Enugu State House of Assembly has urged the Nigerian Army and the police force to dismantle the roadblocks along Ugu-Onyama section of the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway. It also asks them to devise a better and more convenient means of enforcing security checks along the road. The lawmaker representing Udi South constituency, Okechukwu Aneke, made the call on Tuesday in Enugu while moving a motion of urgent public importance. He said the roadblocks along the 9th Mile corner posed serious danger to motorists. Aneke, who said there was the need for security personnel along the Ugu-Onyama part of the expressway due to activities of armed robbers and kidnappers who operate on the road, however, said security operatives should not cause untold hardship for road users. According to him, there are other means that security presence can be maintained on the expressway, such as patrols and checkpoints without roadblocks. Contributing to the motion, Malachi Onyechi, representing Nsukka West constituency, noted that the lawmakers would not allow the security personnel to continue to intimidate motorists in the state. The lawmakers therefore called on the General Officer Commanding GOC 82 Division of the Nigerian Army and the Commissioner of Police in the state to urgently look into the situation. The Speaker, Chief Uche Ugu, said the House would liaise with the security agencies to ensure that the roadblocks were removed to ensure a free flow of traffic on the Ugu-Onyama section of the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, as well as other roads in the state. Stakeholders in the Ivory Towers have frowned at the concept of zoning during the appointments of vice-chancellors in Nigerian universities. They advocated for the institution of a policy directive that will promote standards instead of sentiments in the appointment of vice-chancellors. The recommendations was made by the head Mass Communication Department of Coal City University, Professor Nnamdi Okenwa, on the Tuesday edition of the Signature Morning Show, a flagship breakfast program on Signature TV. Professor Okenwa opined that rather than geopolitical zoning, appointments to the vice-chancellor role should be based on the contributions of the prospective candidates to academics and other relevant areas in the university system. Professor Okenwa says that getting to a top position in the global universities ranking is a gradual process that would take some time, and called on stakeholders in the education sector to remain resilient.
Your contributions to the university and to the environment. You are not supposed to be a local professor. Have some international outlook. Have some interaction with other universities. When you're talking, you're not talking about, oh, what's happening in Enugu State or in Anambra State. What's happening in Nigeria? You have an international outlook to see what is happening outside, to bring in ideas so that when they're on the seat, we can internationalize our universities very, very much. But you see, when local considerations lead us to the choices we make, it localizes our university, and we may not be as you're pointing out to the climes that you've mentioned. But you see, if you will sit here and think we can, on a day, resort to the kind of things we see there, we're coming there.
Indigents of Ndam village in Nobi, Idemili South local government area of Anambra State have cried to Anambra government to save them from the health and environmental hazards from a rice mill sited in the area. The activities of the company, which started operations about 3 months ago, the indigents say is endangering their livelihood due to toxic emissions from the factory. They say they have lived in the community for centuries, but the rice mill, which was introduced in their midst, had made some indigents to abandon their homes for fear of their lives. John Enwedo, a native of Ndam village, who spoke on behalf of the people, said the company was polluting their environment with noise, black soot, and liquid waste, which was upsetting their ecosystem. And Wodo said they could no longer sleep peacefully at night as a result of a 24-hour noise, and that their farms and roofs had been covered by black substances. He said that the people did not know that such a big construction was going on in their vicinity because of a high wall barricade. He called on Governor Chukwuma Soludo to urgently intervene by prevailing on the owners of the factory to move it to an industrial layout or non-residential area in the interest of the people of this densely populated locality. The federal government says a new wage system based on employees' productivity in the civil service is underway. The government says with the system, workers on the same level could earn different salaries. The Director General of the National Productivity Center, NPC, Nasir Raji Mustafa, stressed that such a task couldn't be carried out without the input of labor. Raji Mustafa added that the reports for the first phase of the study was ready, adding that the next stage would be to engage various stakeholders to consider and make inputs before finally presenting it to the federal government for its consideration and possible adoption. The NPC boss also disclosed that the center was collaborating with several international agencies and organizations to ensure that the productivity and skills of Nigerian workers are greatly improved to impact positively on the economy. Still to come on the news, Trump's former fixer Cohen resumes testifying at harsh money trial. Don't go away. Welcome back. On the foreign scene, French police say about 2 French prison guards have been shot dead and 3 others seriously injured on Tuesday after heavily armed men ambushed a prison van to free an inmate, triggering a major manhunt. The orchestrated attack, which comes amidst rising drug-linked violence across Europe, took place at a toll booth in Incarville in the Aure region of northern France. Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin, while revealing that the unnamed inmate and the attackers escaped, says a major manhunt has been launched. Images on social media showed at least 2 men in balaclavas carrying rifles circling near an SUV that was in flames. The SUV appeared to have been rammed into the front of the prison van. Drug crime has spiraled across Europe, which has been flooded with cocaine in recent years. Marseille has been the epicenter of France's gang violence, with a particularly violent war between trafficking clans. The head of British spy agency GCHQ says China poses a genuine and increasing cyber risk to the United Kingdom at a security conference in Birmingham Central. Keith Butler, who was appointed GCHQ chief last year, said the response to Beijing's activities was GCHQ's top priority, and that coercive and destabilizing actions by China threatened international norms. She echoed Sunak is saying the next few years would be dangerous and transformational.
And as the Prime Minister said yesterday, the next few years will be some of the most dangerous and transformational. Putin continues to pursue his senseless and brutal invasion of Ukraine. Iran stokes instability and insecurity in the Middle East. And China is an ever more assertive power. Russia and Iran pose immediate threats, but China is the epoch-defining challenge.
Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said on Monday Britain faced a threat from an axis of authoritarian states like Russia, Iran, North Korea, and China, and British prosecutors charged 3 men with assisting Hong Kong's Foreign Intelligence Service in Britain. China dismissed the case as a fabrication. Britain said on Tuesday it has summoned China's ambassador to say cyber attacks and reports of espionage links were not acceptable. Anxiety has been increasing in the United States and Europe about alleged Chinese cyber and espionage activity, but Beijing has denied the accusations. Meanwhile, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin says China will take all necessary measures to protect its legitimate rights and interests. Wang made the remarks at a press briefing in Beijing on Tuesday while commenting on a reported plan by the United States to raise tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, medical equipment, and solar equipment. Wang says China always that violates WTO rules and will take all necessary measures to safeguard its legitimate rights and interests. Donald Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, has resumed testifying on Tuesday at the Republican presidential candidate's criminal trial, a day after telling jurors that Trump personally authorized him to make a harsh money payment to a porn star weeks before the 2016 election. Cohen was so loyal to Trump that he claimed he could take a bullet for his boss is the prosecution's most important witness. In hours of testimony on Monday, he said Trump ordered him to pay the adult film actress Stormy Daniels, quoting Trump as saying, "Just do it," to ensure her silence about an alleged 2006 sexual encounter. Cohen's $130,000 payment in October 2016 is at the heart of Trump's trial, the first for a former U.S. president, which began in New York State Criminal Court in Manhattan a month ago. Prosecutors say Trump paid Cohen back after the election and hid the reimbursements by creating false records indicating they were for legal fees. Those reimbursements provide the basis for the 34 counts of falsifying business records that Trump faces. Republican U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Mike Johnson joined Donald Trump before the former president's criminal hush money trial resumed on Tuesday, standing silently behind Trump as he railed against the case, the prosecutor, and the judge. Trump, who's 77, who is running against Democratic President Joe Biden in November, has pleaded not guilty and denies any sexual encounter with Daniels. He has characterized the case as a partisan attempt to interfere with this campaign to take back that one.
This is the fifth week that President Trump has been in court for this sham of a trial. They are doing this intentionally to keep him here and keep him off of the campaign trail. And I think everybody in the country can see that for what it is. I'm an attorney, I'm a former litigator myself. I am disgusted by what is happening here, what is being done here to our entire system of justice overall. The people are losing faith right now in this country, in our institutions. They're losing faith in our system of justice. And the reason for that is because they see it being abused as it is being done here in New York.
As the leading Republican in Congress, Johnson is the most senior party member to appear with Trump outside the New York courtroom, where Trump is accused of trying to cover up a payment to an adult film star to boost his 2016 presidential campaign. Republican officials, including senators and other House lawmakers, have begun putting in appearances at the trial in recent days after the former president bemoaned a lack of supporters outside the courthouse. Trump has blamed that absence on security, although the streets around the court remain open to traffic. Trump, whose opinions hold great sway among House Republicans, has given Johnson's speakership vital support in the face of an ouster threats by firebrand Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Last week, the House overwhelmingly rejected her efforts to push Johnson out. Johnson is moving forward with the legislation that would require proof of U.S. citizenship for registering to vote, echoing Trump's unsubstantiated claims that migrants who cross the U.S.-Mexico border illegally could vote in November. And in sports, striker Olivier Giroud has joined MLS outfit Los Angeles FC after announcing he will leave AC Milan at the end of the current campaign. The French international arrived at the San Siro in July 2021 from Chelsea and won the Serie A title in his first season for the club. The 37-year-old player's contract expires at the end of the season. He will join LAFC until December 2025. Lisandro Martinez will likely play his first game for Manchester United since March on Wednesday, while Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes and Willy Cambuala will be assessed to determine if they are fit to return from injury. Manager Erik ten Hag revealed this on the eve of their home Premier League match against Newcastle United. Rafael Varane, who announced his close season departure earlier on Tuesday, will not be fit, but may return on Sunday, the manager added. Ten Hag then hopes to have the French defender match ready for the FA Cup final against Manchester City on May 25. Manchester United 8th in the standings with 54 points trail 6th place Newcastle United by 3 points with 2 matches left and need to close that gap to qualify for the Europa Conference League. Newcastle have won their last 3 matches against Manchester United, scoring 6 goals and conceding none. And that's the news this hour. I'm Charles Pius. Thanks for watching.